Good morning, everybody. If you're on the East Coast, it's about to soon be noon. And welcome to the live stream. I'm BB, Lolita, Cigars and Cistar. And I'm glad that you're here with me on the first official YouTube channel. Alright, so this is the live stream. And I'm going to be Lady Chatterley. That's right. But not without my cigars. I'm doing the cigarillo this time. This is the Savinelli and the natural. Okay, and in this box comes 10 beautiful cigarillos, bigger than your average cigarillos. And as you can tell, I've been smoking a lot. It is steaming because I took a shower, but I didn't want to catch a cold because, you know, Indian summer has been doing its thing. And then it could be the hot flashes, so I broke out the fan. Alright, so without further ado, we're going to be talking, or I'm going to have the conversation. You can join in if you're on the live chats. And we're talking about the vaping pandemonium. What I love about the Savinelli Pequeño type cigars is that it's already cut, the head. And with some of the other ones like Oliva, the Pequeños by Cohiba, you have to use the cutter to cut the head. So this is just like, take the wrapper off, get right to it, and voila, you're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started. But there is a lot of pandemonium in the news about vaping. Bans on vaping. People have been getting sick. There has been deaths surrounding vaping. As a vapor, I got in at the beginning of vaping. And even though this is a smaller type of cigarillo, larger than some of the average cigarillos, but definitely not a full stick, you have to just still make sure you light it accordingly. Okay, so I'm lit. It tastes really, really good. I didn't have anything to eat this morning. And I often talk about, you know, sickness. But I didn't go to bed till late. So the last time that I ate was probably like 2 in the morning. So my stomach is still straight, so I can take this cigar without eating anything. The band slips up and down really, really nicely. But yes, I got in on the vaping at the beginning stages. When I first saw coverage was CNN. CNN did a special about vaping and the device that was used. And it was meant for people to quit smoking. It was an option for them. So at the time, I was a very casual smoker. The most that I would knock them back to back would be going out to a club. But I knew that I was headed down that road because it just felt good to smoke the cigarettes and enjoy myself. I was either smoking Newport 120s, 100s, but mostly it was the Moors 120 menthols. Okay, so like I said, I was like a casual smoker. Like a pack would probably take me about 2 weeks. But if I was going out to the club and drinking, or to a lounge or something like that, I would probably kick back about a good 6, 7 that night, drinking and smoking. So I really didn't want to get into that habit, but you know how you could just tell that you were going to go maybe down that road. So when I saw this special report on CNN about the e-cigarettes, an option for smokers to quit, I was like, well, that's pretty cool. It has the nicotine levels, but it didn't have like all the other carcinogenic type vibes. So I'm just waving hello to some people who are coming in to the chat. So I looked around, and it was not a lot of the manufacturers when it first came out. I know there was like Blue, there was some more, and what got me was just really looking at everything and seeing how everything was. And what appealed to me, I went with Vapor for Life. They had the different kits for you to get started, and they had the cartridges with different kind of flavors, but flavors that appealed to smokers. Like they had the pipe flavored cartridges, the coffee, and then they would have like some of the fruit type vibes, but mainly, you know, anything in the coffee cocoa vibe, just some things that appealed to the average smoker. Even, you know, just those type of flavors, nothing too extravagant, but nice flavors. And with beyond the smoker type flavors, they had like, you know, chocolate, like I said, the fruity type vibes, but it wasn't just all this overwhelming options. So I got my kit. I picked my flavors, which was more on the coffee range, and then they had licorice, which I really, really loved. And it came, and it was wonderful because now I could not offend other people around me who were not smokers. I introduced my kit to others who wanted to quit the habit or be open to it. And the levels that they had for Vapor for Life started like in the high 20s of nicotine. Then you could work your way down to like 18 milligrams of nicotine to 11 to 8 and then to 0. So that means you were working your way down from smoking and getting the nicotine, and then you would just have the device to just blow out the vapor without the nicotine. And the nicotine was excellent because it put you right where you need to be without any of those other harmful chemicals. Well, as usual, the cigarette companies were not feeling it. None of us are surprised about that. So they were like trying to just go in and ban it, and I mean, like they were not feeling that situation at all. But they survived it. They survived the pushback. Okay. Then other manufacturers start to come on the market. But still, you could take your vaping into the clubs. At first they were just like, there's no smoking here, because you know the smoking bans had started to take effect. But then when you told them about the vaping, a lot of the clubs and other establishments, they were like, okay, well, that's cool. Vaping is allowed. So I'm going to show you what I still have. And I never deviated from Vapor for Life. This was one of the beginning boxes that they sent me. Vapor Kings, Vapor for Life. I'm going to turn it this way so you can see it. This is the very first box in that kit that they sent. And it was a starter kit. 2 batteries, which look like the cigarettes, and you could choose the colors. I mean, they just had everything just laid out nicely for you. And then they had 5 cartomizers. You got to choose 5 for flavors to put on top of the batteries. And then you could choose between manual or automatic. I wanted manual. I wanted to be in control of the dosage of nicotine. And I'm glad I did take that option, because later on they started saying the ones that were automatic, that sometimes if you left them too long into the battery or something like that, they would catch a fire. So they were very transparent and let you know the deal. So I was very thankful that I got the one that was manual, where you push it and then suck it and then vape out. So yeah, this was the starter kit that was in there. So they also gave cards for you to give to other smokers who wanted to possibly quit or just try it out. So it was cool, and I liked that aspect. I think I still have some of these cards. These were the cards that you could give out to others to, you know, be open, to slow down on their smoking, or to quit altogether. Okay, so then after that, I got the pass-through. This is what they call the pass-through. And you can take this with you. And when I talk about manual, you see that little button right there? That button, you give your dosage out that you want to. So you would hook this pass-through up with a cigarette lighter that came to it. Put the USB card in there, stick it in your lighter, and then you can be on the go. This right here I have is Irish cream. So, you know, it's still in the coffee family. So I would put it in and vape on the go. My batteries would be used at home or if I go out someplace, but it was just excellent. Okay, now I wasn't gonna give up my cigars or my closed cigarettes, you know, because the closed cigarettes was special. Gonna give that up at all, but it was effective for me because I gave up smoking cigarettes. So Vapor for Life, Vapor Kings, they're still around. They're one of the pioneers. They really helped a lot of people quit smoking. But now, later on, the batteries got bolder, bodacious, bigger. They looked like machines. That was not attractive to me, but I could tell where it was headed. It was headed for the younger demographic and keeping it honest and transparent. As one of the pioneers who used electronic cigarettes, I knew it was gearing toward the kids, because other smokers, they just wanted the batteries that looked like cigarettes in different colors. Mine is out of black, of course. And then I had a dark red, of course. Like a vampire red. And then I had a purple. The purple had a diamond tip on it. So I thought that was cool. That is as far as I leveled up to the changes. But then the batteries got bigger and like hold it in your hand square. I mean, big like this and everything. And I was just like, and it got trendy. Now the vapor, the smoke production vapor that comes out of the batteries in the beginning came out no more than what a cigarette smoke would come out, or even a cigar. But as those batteries got bigger and older, all of the smoke was coming out like Puff the Magic Dragon. Like something very cartoonish, futuristic, you know? And I was just like, is that good? Like, they must be putting in some hella stuff within it to make it just produce that kind of smoke. That is not what a cigar does. Or a cigarette, like for example, let me puff on this and bring out some smoke. Okay, shall we? I drew on that about 5 times. Let's do it again. Because I love cigars. Let's just do it again. One pull on those new batteries that were big and bodacious, different sizes and shapes and stuff. Massive smoke comes out. I just kept saying that's not good. So then you started seeing the younger kids under the age of 21, under the age of consent, under the age that you could get cigars. E-cigarettes were everywhere now. They were with different companies. It was an explosion. And yes, Vapor for Life even had the different style batteries too. And I just wasn't with it. I was very fine with my 3 batteries that looked like cigarettes. One of them, it was an extra long. It looked like a 120. And I was fine with my pass-through to go in my ride when I'm traveling, or if I'm traveling with someone else. And I was good to go. And then they started creating the juices. Now this juice right here is not by Vapor for Life, but this is called lime. So you could get the juices, and then you could get empty cartridges, which would be this. So what do you do with that? You can buy empty cartridges, but those of us who came in the game early, you would take that white part off, open up the liquid, pour some drips in, put that white top back on. This is your battery. This is the cartomizer. For whatever flavor, once it's empty. And then you're good to go. You know you're good to go. So then I was like, okay, we've leveled up. Let me get the juices. and pour it in. But I'm not going to get the new cartomizers. I'm just going to use the ones that I already have and just fill them with whatever flavor. But now, studies are showing, but they're still not being specific. In all of my journalist family, they're still not getting to the bottom of what is causing the sickness, the deaths. Well, what they do know is that with the explosion of dominatrix. Okay, I look like a dominatrix. I plead the whole fifth on that. But when it came to doing these studies, they're still not giving the ingredients of what's in this. But here's my theory, myself as a journalist and one of the people who got in on vaping when it first started. Those children and even adults who like those big machinery and blowing all that smoke, like I'm telling you, like Puff the Magic Dragon, you've seen it, like, oh, it's just a lot. It's you know, they think it's fun, it's cool, but they're getting nicotine addicted. A lot of them are not choosing the non-tobacco option. So they're vaping consistently. And that's more than the average smoker who goes in on a carton a week or a carton in 3 days. They're vaping consistently. Because it's fun, it's cool. Ooh, look at me, I'm blowing all this smoke out. And then they're getting it on the cheap. They may not be paying for the kits that are coming with some of the other manufacturers because they cost. So they're getting things on the cheap. Sometimes you get what you pay for. So you're getting this liquid and all this other stuff that has no accountability in what is producing all that smoke and all of that. So not only that, but you're consistently vaping. And you're doing it more than just say, like someone who tried it, like myself. Once I started feeling good with the nicotine hitting, because I started at the top, you know, coming off of a Newport, coming off of a Moore's 120 menthol. And then I worked myself down. Well, let's see, what is this? Let me see which one this is. I worked myself down to, I don't know if I can read this one. I think this is 11. From a 20, 28 or something like that. They're now becoming nicotine addicted. And just like cigar sickness, take the band off. You can have nicotine sickness. It's a real thing. Too much, you get queasy. It's not a beautiful thing. Just like cigar sickness. If you've ever had it just one time, it's like a snake bite or burning yourself or something. You'll never try to do it again. You know, even the best of us. I've been enjoying cigars for 29 years, and I have gotten caught up saying, oh well, I'm just gonna take this down, and like it almost took me down. So they're vaping and all that nicotine and just thinking it's fun and it's cool. They're getting that nicotine sickness, and then they're getting these liquids from whatever head shop, and you don't know what the ingredients are because it could not be any type of checks and balances like some of the bigger ones have. And so now they're saying like there's holes in the lungs of these persons. It's not just all children, it's like older people too. And the biggest thing is, yeah, they're striking hard at the ban of vaping. But you also have the vaping community who's like striking back. And they're doing the pushback. And so they're saying like, okay, it is a real big problem here. You got all these deaths happening and sicknesses. People are hooked up to breathing machines. You need to start now, just like a census. You need to talk to these people and ask them, what liquid have you been using? What manufacturer have you been using? And then you can start to see, or at least narrow down where the culprit is. It's a lot of vaping badness out there that people are getting off the street at some of these head shops, and that's the only way really to kind of get a hold of it. Where did you get this vaping liquid? Can you tell us what head shop and what's the manufacturer? And then you can start closing in. Because you can best believe, like Vapor for Life and some of the rest of them who have been around for a long time, pioneers and stuff like that, they're going to be making sure that their stuff is right. But still, it should not be marketed to young people. And I'm definitely with that. You need to be 21 and up to take that on. Because it is nicotine, and there's some pros, cons, and risks to everything, even to this. That's why I always say on my platforms, you got pros, cons, and risks with these cigars, even with drinking. I mean, whatever your vice is. Like my abuela, my nana, my great grandmother, my mother, I mean, all of these wisdom women always told me, do everything in moderation. And I do, okay? I love my cigars, but I do everything in moderation. Everything. Like if I'm on a chocolate binge, BB, pull back. My great grandmother lived to 109 years old, so I definitely know that she knows what she was talking about. She was born in 1891. She transitioned in 2000. I was 29 years old. She was 109. And she was a lady of the leaf. She was a Native American woman. She rolled her cigars. She smoked her cigars. She dipped her snuff. She did nasal snuff. But the tobacco didn't take her out, natural causes. Everybody's body's different. But still, do everything in moderation. So I say, to the vaping community, those of us who are responsible, you're going to need to go ahead and stock up on your liquids, because they could just ban it altogether. They may not even want to do the census study to ask these people who are in distress mode, and even people who are not, where are you getting, but especially the people who are in distress mode, where are you getting that vaping liquid? Where are you getting that vaping kit that you have? And then you can start narrowing it down, and then going after those companies and having them list what is in those liquids. But also the accountability is still on the parents. You know those kids are vaping. You think that was cool or whatever. And if you didn't know, that's still on you. You should be knowing things about your children. Okay? So a lot of them do know. And like I said, they are finding it cool and they're just vaping away. too much of a good thing. It's just not a good thing. I think I'm done. I have one more puff. But I wanted to talk about it and just come in from, you know, a real point of view. They need to up the age limit, and they need to hold the vaping companies and the head shops and everything accountable. But still, even through all that, we all know in reality, it's still going to be out on the street. But now that the warning is out there, now you're going to have another platform for the health providers. They're going to start changing up the verbiage in what they're going to cover. Now that they know that there are some stuff in those liquids and that the kids are doing it and they should not be doing it, how much are they doing it, and all these ingredients and all that, they're not going to be covering it. So it's just exploded. Called the trickle-down ban effect. Right now, I enjoy nasal snuff. Today, though, I got a lot of running around to do, and I'm enjoying the Delakia. This is non-tobacco. This is Indian Rose Herbal Snuff. Got this off of Mr. Snuff, UK. The shipping, the royal shipping is like about $9 or so. It takes 2 weeks to get to the US, and I enjoy it. Let me cut this down. So these are cute little tap boxes, but this is non-tobacco, you know, because right now I'm pretty satisfied with Savinelli. And I'll be back on tonight for sure. I have a bigger full stick. And we're not going to be talking about vaping. This is it. Okay? Do your senses. Journalists. Census takers. Get down to the nitty gritty with these people who are in a hospital, who have been sick. Ask them where have they been getting their stuff from. And then you'll start getting a more clear picture of what's going on. Because I do not believe that all of them are dangerous. Like I said, God forbid, I don't even know where my rosary is right now, but well, I do know where my rosary is, but you know, thank goodness I have not been sick off no vaping, and I kept it with just one company, and then I did another company, and then that was it. So then I can narrow it down, go off a bit, if something should happen to me. But anyway, this is the tap box. You open it up, and you just put a little bit on. Well, I need to tap it because sometimes the Delakia can be so moist, but it's so good. The tobacco snuff or the non-tobacco, and this is the non-tobacco, and it really lifts you up because, you know, cigars take you mellow. So I need to come up. Okay, so I'm gonna tap a little bit out of my hand. See there? Non-tobacco. Oh, that rose is so good. It has a cute little menthol lift. There's another one. See that? I'm awake. Now I'm gonna take another bomb. There we go. That's another one. The fan is going, so I don't want to blow it. So this is non-tobacco. Delakia rose chocolate. Not rose chocolate, just Indian rose. Non-tobacco. MrSnuffUK.com. And I'll be taking this with me all day. The Savinelli has been wonderful. It is also Vlogoween Eve. So go look at the Vlogoween from 2018 that I did on this channel, the second official YouTube channel. And yes, I will be participating in Vlogoween 2019. So come along. But that's it. Do everything in moderation. Own your choices. Pros, cons, and risk. That's just what it is in life. Be smart about your moves. And I hope that everyone who has been affected by that vaping, I hope that they get better. And for those who have passed away from that,
this is EOS, and this is the story of how we make awesome.
To the families, I do give my condolences.
The globe to sustainable.
But young people, vaping is serious business. Nicotine is serious. And you need to be at the age of maturity to know what you're doing. And when it all comes down to everything, the blame game, it all goes back on you because it was your choice. But things have to get regulated. And if they can, try and get the bad out of there. Well, that's all I got. I've nubbed this down. More to come. I'm Cigar, Cistar, and I'll be back on live. You can also catch me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and right here. So more to come. Peace and love, everybody. Vlogoween starts tomorrow.